Good evening and welcome in to the Mystic Lotus and Dragonflies Awesome Healers Training Tele Summit. Our wonderful expert today has quite the resume. She is trained in many modalities and methodologies, including Reiki, life coaching, theta healing, grace healing, regenerate healing, infinity healing, and NLP. She has helped people from all walks of life to attain clarity of purpose, to set goals, gain self-confidence, rout away guilt and fears, resolve relationship issues, get rid of negative traits, control anger, stress, and worries, and achieve a positive, happy, calm state of mind. She is also a mixed media artist, infusing her artwork with healing and positive emotions. She's been teaching undergrad students at the prestigious St. Stephen's College for the past 40 years and apparently loves tea so much you can bribe her with it. She's here today with what is hands down in my top 5 list of modalities, a simple, effective, terrific method, EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for and join me in giving a warm Mystic Lotus welcome to the lady making her debut on our Tele Summit today, Shabnam Johry. Hi, Shabnam. Welcome in.
Thank you so much, Neelu, for such a warm welcome and for your kind words.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. Before you say anything else, before we actually start off, I have to simply ask you this. Have any of your students or has anybody actually ever bribed you with tea or not?
My colleagues do. Yeah. And I get delayed by half an hour or even 1 hour just because they say, would you like to have tea? Even when I'm going home from college, I just keep waiting because they're preparing tea for me and I love having it with them.
Awesome. You were about to say something, Shabnam.
No,
before I ask this.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's indeed my pleasure to be here on this Tele Summit call. And I sincerely hope that everybody here would gain a lot from this session.
Absolutely. No doubt about that at all. Shabnam, you're still teaching, right? As you mentioned, you're still held back after when you're getting a cup of tea prepared for yourself. So yeah. Teaching all these years, you're still teaching. What took you into the healing domain, so to speak, and why EFT in particular?
That is actually a very frequent question which I am asked because for the past 40 years, I've been teaching organic chemistry.
Right.
So that is what people ask me, how come you are into healing? From a very young age, I was interested in healing myself as well as others. And I don't think there is anybody in the world who does not need healing, be it physical, mental, or emotional. And I too needed it. Fortunately, I came in contact with people who guided me to various healing modalities. So I took training in one modality after another. And as you said, I have been teaching at St. Stephen's College for the past 40 years. And let me tell you, we get the best of students from all over India. Right? But in spite of getting very high marks, being extremely intelligent, and they're extremely talented also. In spite of all this, I found that most of the students suffered from some emotional issue or the other. So some lacked confidence, while others were not able to concentrate or focus well. Some gave into distractions, while others could not build good relationships. This really pained me a lot. And I thought that if I could in some way release their negative emotions and the pain they were carrying, they would be able to scale much greater heights in life. And this led me to conduct a research project titled Empowerment of Contemporary Education System through Application of EFT and NLP. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique and NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. So as part of this research project, I conducted one-on-one as well as group sessions on about 50 students, and also taught them the emotional freedom technique so that they could use it whenever and wherever they like. It was really very heartening to see the transformation that was brought about in these students. And that is why I use emotional freedom technique to bring about complete transformation in people.
Fantastic. And first of all, I'd like to say this, Shabnam, kudos to you. I know there must be very many teachers out there like you who are looking to enhance and alleviate their students' lives. And the fact that in the middle of all this, you would actually go learn something and use it as a research on your students, and empowerment of contemporary education sounds like some thesis topic in a college that you have to do. But you know what? It can happen with these modalities as well. And as you've just mentioned, you did that with EFT. So I'm pretty sure I'm correct in saying that you hardly started and you had 50 students already. You had 50 clients already, right? Okay, so we will come back to that. I'm sure all of us want to know a little bit more about, what's the kind of results that came out with the research that you did, and what are the kind of experiences everybody had. Before that, for everybody to know, there are a whole bunch of people here who are with us for the first time on the Tele Summit. Maybe they're familiar, not familiar, but if you could tell all of us, what is EFT? Exactly what is it, and what does it do?
Yes, indeed, a great question. I love talking about EFT. EFT, as I just told you, stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. And it was introduced by Gary Craig in 1995. Emotional Freedom Technique is a magical tool which helps you to step into your greatest self. And it also makes you feel the power of your inner being. The way it works is by tapping with your fingertips at certain meridian points, which are also called acupressure points, on your body, while focusing on your issues. So this way you are able to flush out the dirt of all your experiences within minutes. And once you flush out all this dirt from your energy system, two things happen. First of all, you reset your body, and secondly, you reframe your mind. Now, suppose you are in a state where you have negative thoughts like, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. Why me? Why am I suffering? I lack confidence. I cannot take decisions easily. I'm not ready for this. So suppose if you are in a state like this, EFT will gently hold your hand and take you to a place where you would be able to say, I believe in myself. I'm confident. I can do this and I will do this. I love myself. In fact, I am love. I am joy. I am peace. I am hope. And that is when you begin to master your life. EFT clears out all your past traumas and your emotional baggage. And that is when you begin to realize and recognize the pure miracle that you truly are. And you also begin to appreciate the beauty of this life. That is why I teach EFT, because it empowers you from within and it rewards you with a lifetime of love, joy, and peace. Believe me, all the healing that you've been looking for is right at your fingertips, because that is how you carry out tapping. Now, let me tell you something more about EFT. EFT is very easy to learn and simple to use. It can be used anywhere, at any time, for anything. You can say it is one modality which brings about effective results in a very short time, instantaneously. EFT gets to the root cause of issues and clears them permanently. So if you are using EFT to work on any issue, let me tell you, you may never have to work on that issue again. And it is, again, a very fast technique. It works within minutes. I mean, you can perform it within minutes. So one round of EFT does not take more than 2 minutes. And usually 4 to 5 rounds are enough to clear out your emotional hurt, your mental discomfort, or your physical pain.
Interesting. So you mentioned tapping, you mentioned meridian points, you mentioned using your fingers. So how exactly does EFT work on the inside?
Well, there are a large number of meridians all over our body, right? And meridians are nothing but ducts through which the life force flows, right? And if you encounter a negative incident, then there is disruption in this free flow of your energy in the meridians.
Okay.
By means of tapping, these disruptions are neutralized, they get balanced, so that free flow of that life force begins. And that is how it works. The thing is that we use acupressure points, and when we tap at acupressure points, chemicals called, now again, I'm using chemistry here, chemicals called endorphins are released. And endorphins, they facilitate your well-being, your positive attitude, your happy feelings. So that is why when you tap at these points, you feel refreshed, you feel calm, you release all your anxiety, and you feel happy. So actually, we can call EFT as acupuncture minus the needles. Because when you use acupuncture, at the same points, needles are inserted and it's painful. On the other hand, EFT is very gentle. You use gentle tapping to bring about the same transformation.
Right. You just mentioned the release of endorphins. And in fact, if I remember correctly, there's his brother, sister, Jessica Ortner, saying that EFT is the one modality or one tool with which you can actually reduce your cortisol levels. Cortisol is the stress, cortisol levels. I think I'd read this quote of hers somewhere. So that's interesting, because aren't we all carrying, whether we see it or not, whether we admit it or not, there is a lot of day-to-day stress that we do carry, and we don't know, right, Shabnam, where that stress translates into as a physical or emotional disruption, correct?
Yeah.
So just even doing EFT with anything, even the smallest of things, is going to start changing that balance and that equation within your body, correct?
That's right.
Okay, super. That's absolutely fantastic. In fact, there's a question that's come up. Is there just one tapping technique?
It is just one tapping technique.
Is there just one tapping technique?
No, there are different versions of EFT, the EFT routine. And the latest version is actually the simplest and the most shortened version. What I teach is not only the latest technique, but also the original version, which was given by Gary Craig. And sometimes I find that when the latest technique does not work in the sense that, well, let me tell you about SUD levels. So once you are practicing EFT on, say, yourself or someone else, the first thing that you do is you rate the intensity of your emotions or your issues on a scale of 0 to 10. This scale of 0 being the minimum and 10 being the maximum. This scale is called the SUD level. It measures the intensity of your issue or the intensity of your negative emotions, right? So suppose a particular emotion that you're feeling is at 9 on the scale of 0 to 10, right? Now, you use the latest technique. Sometimes it so happens that it comes down to maybe 4 or 5 or even 2. But after that, it gets stuck. It doesn't come down to 0.
Right.
And until and unless it comes down to 0, you will not be able to get rid of that particular negativity completely. that negative issue will not be completely eradicated from your system. That is why I often teach the original method that was used.
Right.
That can be used when you feel that the session is not going as fast as it should, or is not bringing down the sub level to the SUD level to 0.
Right. Well, of course, I mean, you've got to learn the original in order to progress to the faster, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's not all. So we have the original technique, we have the latest technique, then we also have the movie technique, right? And we have the slow EFT also. Why slow EFT? EFT is supposed to be a very quick technique. Then why do we call it slow EFT? Well, in this case, what we do is we note down 7 or 8 different issues that we want to get rid of, right?
Okay.
And we carry out a complete overhaul of our system in one go, right? So we tap at a particular point for one issue, keep on tapping there, then we go to the next point, tap for another issue. So it takes some time, right? And that is why it's called slow EFT. But then in one go, you are able to get rid of a number of issues.
That's interesting. And of course, all of this is going to be part of the learnings that happen with the workshop. Shabnam, you've done this research with the students, and you've helped hundreds across time and space. What is your experience with EFT been?
Yeah, that is very interesting, and I would love to share it with everyone. I had fear of dogs, which I've got rid of. I also suffered from a lot of air sickness. So let me tell you about both these things. Once I was traveling from Dubai to Delhi, and I used to suffer from a lot of air sickness every time I traveled. And I just used to keep my eyes closed throughout the flight. I was not able to eat anything during the flight. And it was really bad. I used to keep sitting like this, not talk to anybody. So the doctor advised that I must take some medicine before the flight. And I always used to do that earlier. But when I was flying from Dubai to Delhi, I completely forgot to take my medicine with me.
Okay.
Yeah. And when I was just about to board the plane, I was waiting in the queue for boarding. I remember that I hadn't taken my medicine. I didn't know what to do. Suddenly, I remembered that I can use EFT. Why not? So I did a quick round of EFT, and that is actually a much shorter version, which I created myself, even shorter than the shortest version, and which you can use during time crunch or when you have to do it in front of people. So I quickly did it while waiting in the queue, and just 1 or 2 rounds were enough to make me get rid of that air sickness completely. You won't believe it that a person who used to take medicines to travel was able to enjoy the flight, was able to talk to people around, was able to eat during the flight, was not sitting with eyes closed like this. I really had a good time. So that is how EFT comes to your rescue. So not only for air sickness, suppose you are about to perform on the stage and you're suffering from a lot of nervousness, you can quickly do this, just 2-3 rounds of this short version, and you can get rid of that fear or that nervousness.
Right. Yeah.
The second one is fear of dogs. Now, most of the times you would find that the negative issues that you suffer from, including fear, they are rooted in your childhood, most of the times, right? So when I was just 8 or 9 years old, I was chased by 7 to 8 hefty, bulky dogs.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they started running after me. And I knew that if I also run, then they will just tear me apart. So maybe if I walk slowly, they will stop following me. But then I found that they were running. And in order to save myself, I was just 8 to 9 years old. In order to save myself, I thought I need to run. Fortunately, I used to run very fast. And so I also started running. And behind me, there were 6, 7 of them chasing me. Just because I ran so fast, I could save myself. I just entered a gate. I was outside a hospital, actually, waiting for my parents. So I ran inside. I asked the gatekeeper to close the gate as soon as I entered. He did that, and I got saved. Now, this incident, I mean, I got saved, all right, but I developed the fear of dogs at that very moment. So throughout life, I mean, till I came in contact with this magical tool, EFT, I used to fear dogs. And I used to change my path if I'm walking from my bus stop to my home, and I see a dog right in front of me on the road, quite far from me, I would change the path. And a distance of 10 minutes once took me 30 minutes to cover.
Understandable given the trauma you went through as a child. So, right.
Now, when I was taking this EFT training, at that time, during the training, I did EFT on myself for fear of dogs, right? So after that, I told my trainer that I've got rid of my fear. So she said, I can't believe it happened so fast. Even the trainer said that. So she said, now you go to the street, go towards a dog, and I will send someone with you to see if that fear has disappeared or not.
Right.
So we were on the third floor at that time. A person was sent with me. I saw a dog across the road. I crossed the road to go towards the dog. I actually came face to face with the dog, and something very funny happened at that time. The dog looked at me, turned around, and went away. So instead of me, it was the dog who was afraid of me. It was really funny.
I get him, and this is very interesting. And the fact that even your teacher couldn't believe that it happened so quickly.
Yeah.
I think that's the power of things that actually work very simply, right? There's nothing complicated about it, which is why sometimes you end up doubting the result of it all. So yeah, that is absolutely amazing. And I know you have a lot of very lovely stories to share with us, including there was a lady who was scared of driving, and there was the air hostess who couldn't get into an airplane. So we'll get back to that. There's a question here from Delbert saying, how are the tapping techniques different? Are the points different in different techniques? Delbert, have you understood the question, Shabnam?
Yes.
Please go ahead.
So, in the latest technique, we use 9 points to tap, right? But in the original technique, there are a larger number of points. So those 9 points remain the same, but there are some more additional points where you tap. Plus, there is what is known as the 9-gamut procedure, which you follow, which in the original technique, which fine-tunes your right and the left brain. Yeah. Once they get balanced, then elimination of the negative beliefs or the negative emotions becomes much faster and easier, and your SUD level easily comes down to 0.
Right. And the SUD being subjective unit of distress.
Yeah. Subjective units of distress.
Okay. So Dipali has rephrased her question, and she had asked earlier, right? Is there just one tapping technique? So she has asked, so do you tap certain meridian points for stress? Do you tap certain meridian points for fear? Are the points different for different issues, or is it just one? Is it one pattern?
It is one pattern, right? But in the movie technique, you use different reminder phases. When we do a group demo today, I will tell you what those points are. I will tell you how exactly you tap, what is a reminder phrase, what is the setup statement. So it will become clear at that time. But for different issues, we use a different setup statement. We use different reminder phrases, but the points remain the same.
Right. And Palak asked an interesting question. When are you using NLP and when are you using EFT?
All right.
There's a difference, right, between the two?
Yes.
In fact, I can see Shubham here. He's one of your students who went through the research and the learning with you, right?
Yes.
So we'll get him on after this. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Now, the difference between NLP and EFT. Whatever NLP is able to achieve, EFT can do the same, right? It can bring about the same change, right? But sometimes it so happens, because in case of NLP, what you need to do is you have to close your eyes, you have to think of an incident, right? And you have to visualize that incident with your eyes closed. Now, sometimes it so happens, because it happened in the case of one of my clients, that he was not able to close, not one, but more, two or three of my clients, they were not able to close their eyes at all because of fears, right? And at that time, I could not use NLP. And I had to rely completely on EFT. I will give you this example. It's quite a good one. Now, this happened in Dubai, and my interview was aired on Dubai FM. So a couple going in their car, they heard me around 9 p.m. at night. So the husband had not slept for 4 days, 4 full days. He just couldn't close his eyes, and that is why he couldn't sleep. So as soon as they heard my interview, the wife called me and she said that, can you help us? My husband has not been able to sleep for 4 days. So I asked him to come over immediately. I just couldn't let him suffer more. So around 9:30, they arrived at my sister's place where I was staying. And I kept on working with him for about 2.5 hours. I worked for from 9:30 to 12, I was doing EFT on him. Now, he was not able to close his eyes because of multiple fears from which he was suffering. Even a dog barking troubled him a lot. He got so scared, and I had to rely completely on EFT. After those 2.5 hours, they went back, and the very next morning at 7 a.m., I got a call from the wife thanking me and saying that her husband had slept after 4 days and he had slept really peacefully.
That's amazing.
So this person, he came to me for 3-4 sessions more just to regain his confidence and to regain his positivity. And he was a completely changed person after these EFT sessions.
That is amazing.
There was another person who had suicidal tendencies. And so again, because of fear and that negativity, he was not able to close his eyes. So I could not do any NLP activity on him, had to do only EFT. And just after 2 sessions, all those suicidal tendencies were gone. He was full of joy and he was just joking around.
Fantastic, fantastic. And that's a good part with EFT, right? It's at the end of the day, whatever language you're comfortable with, whatever your vocabulary is all you need. You really don't need too much information, too many details. You don't need to understand the physics, chemistry, biology of what's going on inside your body. You just need to know what's happening and be able to use that, right? And the proof is always in the pudding. And I know you have a lovely demonstration. You have a lovely activity planned for all of us to be able to experience this. But Shubham here, I can see him. He's been sitting, waiting, smiling over there for quite some time. Should we just get him on very quickly?
Yes.
Hi, Shubham.
Audible?
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shubham Kaushik, and I was a part of the EFT research conducted by Shabnam ma'am in St. Stephen's College in 2014. In 2014, I was 18 years old and in first year of my college. I was really happy at that time because I made it. I just not made into my dream college, but also I was selected in the cricket team of the college as well.
Oh, fantastic! Congratulations.
Thank you so much, ma'am. But this joy could not last for long, as I was like within few weeks after that, I was affected with a disease, severe disease, which could not be diagnosed for a long time back then. And as a result of it, I was in deep physical, mental, and emotional distress. And that is when Shabnam ma'am took note of it, as she happened to be my professor as well. And she came to know that there's a boy in her class who's struggling with his life. And that is when she introduced EFT to me for the first time. Initially, I thought I was like surprised and amazed at the same time, because someone like Shabnam ma'am, who was well established as a professor in one of the premier institutions of the country, I could not believe that someone could come up with such an idea of like EFT, which deals with like making difference in people's life. And it was something like completely out of the box for me. But as I've already mentioned earlier, that when nothing was going right in my life at that time, I said, okay, let's give this a try as well. So then onwards, ma'am conducted one-on-one sessions with me, several sessions with full devotion and dedication. And then she taught me how EFT works and what are the how to make the setup statement and how to get rid of all the negative energies from the body. And one by one, like as a result of all these situations in my life, I lacked confidence. My confidence was shattered. My relationships were affected. My studies and sports, everything was getting hampered. So ma'am just said me very simply that you just make a setup statement that even though I'm struggling with my life these days, I deeply and completely accept myself. Ma'am, you won't believe, saying just uttering this simple sentence gave me utmost relief that I could not get from like medicines that I was taking those days. So it was of so much relief to me. And after that, we went on with the sessions, and ma'am taught me so many things. Like my biggest like takeaways, I would point out two from those EFT sessions are: number one, ma'am taught me that always believe in the process. Always believe in the process and give your 100% into it, and then results will take care on its own. You don't have to worry about that. And second positive is, ma'am, the acceptance. Ma'am taught me that once you accept the situation or the circumstances in your life, you cannot run away from it. Once you cannot run away from it, your mind consciously and subconsciously starts figuring out solutions for it. And
Right.
and then it becomes really easy. You will be like amazed after some time that you laugh on those incidents that okay, this was the phase in my life and it is over now. So now I would like to quickly put forward three instances from my life where EFT has worked miraculously for me. Number one, like I scored lowest marks, or if not the lowest, one of the lowest marks during my first year in college, ma'am. And but after practicing EFT continuously and under ma'am's guidance, my scores improved exponentially over the next semesters. And by the time I reached my final year, I got selected at King's College London for master's course.
Amazing.
Secondly,
Amazing.
I would like to say, ma'am, even though I was selected in the college cricket team during my first year itself, but I was not given an opportunity to play in any of the matches during the first year, and I was deeply affected by it. But again, my setup statement was ready that yes, even though I was not given a chance to play or represent my college in any of the matches, I deeply and completely accept myself. And I just started working back again on the process, on the basics.
Right.
And by the
Right.
time I reached the final year, I was the captain of the college cricket team, ma'am.
Oh, that is beautiful. How amazing.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And lastly, I would like to say there were few people around me, like who have completely written me off just because I was not fluent in English, as I come from a rural background, and they just said he might be good in his subject, but he won't be able to survive in the campus, and he won't be able to do good in life just because he's not fluent in English.
Right.
And again, I used to repeat, I set up this statement that even though I am not so fluent in English, I deeply and completely accept myself. And I would like to put one recent incident, ma'am. Recently I appeared for one of the personality tests as a part of the prestigious civil services examinations in India,
Right.
in which I managed to score the highest marks in the interview. And for me, and the medium of my interview was English only. For me, even more important than the marks, as Shabnam ma'am has already taught me that it's the process that matters the most. For me, it was the remarks of the chairman of the interview board that will stay with me forever. Ma'am, he said, "Hey, you seem to be a dashing personality, and the way you have communicated in English has been so good." And this is how
Right.
my interview ended. And Ma'am, I can't thank Shabnam ma'am enough for making a difference in my life and for introducing me to such a magical technique, which is EFT. And ma'am, I would like to just say that I am blessed to be your student, and thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on and sharing, Shubham. Shabnam, I think you dropped for a minute or two, but I got to tell you this. It's very rarely that with the testimonial I get all emotional. But Shabnam, please come in because I'm like all emotional right now. What Shubham has shared with what he went through and how EFT helped him. Amazing. Amazing. You touched my heart, Shubham, today.
Ma'am, thank you so much. It's all possible because of Shabnam ma'am only. She is the guiding light for me. And it's been 7 years, like since 2014, and we are still connected like this. And I always share whatever I am planning to do in my life and whatever I achieve. It's all the credit goes to Shabnam ma'am. And as I've mentioned, I am blessed to be a student, and I would always love to be a student throughout my life and in the next life as well, ma'am.
Fantastic. Kudos to that. Yes to that. And I'm pretty sure the bond that the two of you have will always remain. And I want to apologize to everybody for the sudden outburst of this thing, but truly and deeply, Shubham, the takeaways that you shared, it was very touching. And to see you overcome all of that with EFT and now where you are, superb, superb.
Thank you, ma'am.
Many best wishes to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Shabnam, do you have anything to say to him? To Shubham?
I actually missed all that he said. I lost the internet connection. I'm really sorry. And I will ask him once again later.
Yeah, you catch the replay and then you'll catch me also with tears rolling. Thank you so much, Shubham. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend ahead.
Thank you.
He truly, I think he just just covered so much. And I know what he has said has touched a lot of people. And I think it's time for everybody to get a tiny bit of experience of what Shubham's been through. Shubham, I hope you're staying on, even though you're very used to this now. I hope you're staying on for the demonstration. So before we take on any more questions, in fact, let me just do a quick check if in case any more. All right. Palak's asked a question. Oh, you know what, Palak, you hang in there with that because it's a very interesting question. Let's go to the experience first, and I'm going to bring it up immediately after that. Shabnam, is there anything that we need to do to get ready for the experience?
Loveliest part about EFT is that you have the tool right here, right? So you don't need to do anything. Most you can do is have a sip of water, right? So let us have some water.
Oh, and of course, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, we're going through this experience, taking fear in consideration, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so.
And this will, see, we all have some fear of, some kind of fear, right?
Right.
For example, it can be the fear of spiders, it can be the fear of dogs, it can be fear of accidents, fear of public speaking, fear of darkness, fear of heights, fear of failure. It can be any kind of fear, right? And for the past 1.5 years, people have been suffering from this fear of COVID-19. So it can be any fear, absolutely, right? So they will have to select one fear which they would like to release today.
Okay. So if I've understood this correctly, Shabnam, all of us need to pick any one fear, and do we give it a rating?
Yeah, I'll actually just explain the technique first so that it becomes easier.
Okay.
When we actually go through it, right? So let me just explain the points, and you don't have to memorize them because I'll be guiding you throughout afterwards also. Right?
Perfect.
Now, there are 9 points. This is the latest, the shortest, and the simplest version of EFT, right? Here, we need to tap on 9 acupressure points. or 9 meridian points. Okay. So, and let me first of all tell you what those 9 points are. The first point is called the karate chop point. And it is here, the fleshy part of the side of the hand between the base of the little finger and the wrist, right? So this is the karate chop point on which you will have to tap with the tips of 4 fingers of your other hand. So you will just tap like this, right? This is the first point, karate chop point. The second point is the eyebrow. It is actually the beginning of the eyebrow here. And on all the other points, we will use just the tips of our index finger and the middle finger, right? And we will gently tap like this. So eyebrow, which is actually the beginning of the eyebrow. The next one is side of the eye. Then under the eye. Actually, we have to tap on the bone, right? So under the eye, under the nose, here. Next one is chin. So even though I say chin, it actually means the crease between the lower lip and the chin, right? So we'll tap here. Then collarbone, which is the beginning of the collarbone here. So here, if you like, you can tap on both sides, or you can use your whole hand to tap like this. The next point, so collarbone. Then the next point is under the arm, which is about 4 inches below the armpit. 4 inches below the armpit. Somewhere here, right? And the last point is top of the head, where you can again tap with the tips of 4 fingers, like this, right? So once more, karate chop point, eyebrow, side of the eye, under the nose, chin, collarbone, under the arm, that is 4 inches below the armpit, and then top of the head. These are the 9 points where we will tap, right? Now you can tap on either side of your body, right? Right side or left side, whatever you prefer, and you can use whichever hand you like. Okay. So these are the 9 acupressure points. Then we have the SUD level, which you need to know, which stands for subjective units of disturbance. And you have to rate the intensity, because we are doing it for fear. You would be rating the intensity of your fear on the scale of 0 to 10, 0 being the minimum intensity and 10 being the maximum. Right? All right. Then after that, let me tell you that you must tap at least 7 to 8 times at each point. Right? Even if you're able to say the reminder phrase, I'll just tell you what the reminder phrase is. You'll be saying a reminder phrase when you are tapping here. So even though if you are able to say the reminder phrase just 2-3 times, you should tap at least 7 to 8 times at each point. Right? Now we will frame a setup statement, which is very important here. Right? Some people call it the affirmation, but a more convenient term is a setup statement, because we would be using something negative there, and people say, why do we call it an affirmation when there's something negative there? And we are going to use something negative there because that is what we are going to eliminate from our system, which is fear in this case, right? Now, in here, we would use the setup statement, even though I have this fear, I deeply and completely accept myself, right? So why do we say I love and accept myself, even though I have this fear? Now, if you want to release anything from your system, in this case, it's fear, there are 3 steps. This is true for any negative issue, any negative emotion, right? There are 3 steps which are involved. The first step is acknowledge, the second is accept, and the third is release, right? So you have already acknowledged that you have this fear, right? So first step is taken care of. Second is accept. What does that mean? Now, I should be able to accept that fear in me. Yes, I have the fear of dogs. Now I don't, but I had it, right? So I should be able to accept that fear. And secondly, I should be able to accept myself in spite of that fear, right? Only when I love and accept myself in spite of that fear, the third step, that is release of that fear, becomes automatic. So you acknowledge, you accept, and the moment you accept, release becomes automatic. You don't have to work for it, right? And that middle part, even though I have this fear, this is the negative part which is being eliminated. And when you say, I love and accept myself, you send it out to the universe that, yes, I love myself, I accept myself, or I deeply and completely accept myself, right? Now, this is going to be a setup statement, but everyone has a different fear, right? So because I'll be doing it for the whole group, I will not be able to specify the fear. What you can do is, because all of you are muted, right? So I will just give a small pause after fear, say after saying fear. Even though I have this fear, I deeply and completely accept myself. So what you can what you can do is that, first of all, you must say it out aloud, right? Whether it's the setup statement or the reminder phrase, you have to say it out aloud. And because you all are muted, you can specify your particular fear, right? So somebody would say, even though I have this fear of public speaking, even though I have this fear of accidents, even though I have this fear of failure, whatever that fear is, right? Secondly, what is a reminder phrase? Now, when we tap here on the karate chop point with the 4 fingers, we would say the setup statement, right? After this, and we will say it 3 times. And you don't have to worry, you don't have to remember anything. You would be just saying it after me. So just be relaxed, right? Great. Then after that, you would be tapping at the various meridian points. You will tap 7 to 8 times, and you would be saying the reminder phrase. The reminder phrase just consists of 2 or 3 words. For example, here it would be this fear, and you would be saying this fear of failure, this fear of accidents, this fear of public speaking, whatever it is, right? So this is all you have to do, right?
Okay.
So any questions before we start the activity?
No, questions for this have not come in. I have a question to ask, Shabnam. Do you want everybody to write their fear and FUD on the group?
Yeah, that will come when I'll go through the whole, all the steps.
All right.
So,
and do you need to be stationary? Is it okay for you to be walking, or
you can do whatever you like. You can lie down, you can sit, you can walk, and you can do EFT. In fact, you can do EFT even while you are bathing, while you are taking a walk, and while you can utilize the time that you lose during the muting, or while waiting for while waiting in a queue, you can do that. So EFT is a very simple technique. It can be done wherever, whenever you like. So we'll start the activity, and I will come to the SUD level. All right. Now, just close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. This is just to relax you. Take 3 deep breaths. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. This is how you will do it. Just feel completely relaxed. Now just think about your fear that you want to let go of. Focus on it. You can think of your reaction when it last happened, when that particular incident last happened, or you can think about that fear when it got instilled in you. That is the first incident when you got this fear, whichever way you like. Or it can be the last time when it happened. Just focus on your reaction, the focus of that feeling that you got, focus on the fear that you have. Just think about it. And think about the incident that happened or the feeling that you are getting. Focus well on your fear. Notice if it has any color. Does your fear have any color? If it does, what color is it? Does it have a shape? What shape is it? Does it have any texture? Or is it smooth? Is it hard or is it soft? Where exactly in your body do you feel this fear? In which part of your body do you feel this fear? Or the tension because of this fear? Just concentrate on that. And now you will rate the intensity of your fear on a scale of 0 to 10. This is your SUD level as far as the fear is concerned. Rate it on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being the minimum, 10 being the maximum. Zero means no fear at all. 10 means highest intensity. So just rate it on that scale. Just make a note of this number. And now we will start tapping. So we will do 2 rounds of this first. You will tap here at the karate chop point with 4 fingers of your other hand. And while tapping, you will say the setup statement, which is, even though I have this fear, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this fear, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this fear, I deeply and completely accept myself. Start tapping at the various points. Eyebrow, you don't have to say the various points like eyebrow, side of the eye. You will just say the reminder phrase. But I will keep on saying the points where you have to tap. So eyebrow, this fear, this fear, this fear. Side of the eye, this fear, this fear, this fear. Under the eye, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. Under the nose, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. Chin, this fear, this fear, this sphere, this sphere, collarbone, this sphere, this sphere, this sphere, this sphere, under the arm, this sphere, this sphere, this sphere, this sphere, top of the head, this sphere, this sphere, this sphere, this sphere. That completes one round of EFT, and I'm sure it hasn't taken more than 2 minutes. We'll do one more round. Once again, we will start tapping at the karate chop point. Even though, let's repeat after me, even though I have this fear, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this fear, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this fear, I deeply and completely accept myself. Eyebrow, this fear. Start tapping at the eyebrow point. This fear, this fear, this fear. Side of the eye, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. Under the eye, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. Under the nose, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. Chin, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. Collarbone, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. Under the arm, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. Top of the head, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. Just take a sip of water. Now, once again, you can close your eyes, think about your fear. Notice the part where you were feeling that fear or that tension because of that fear. And again, rate the intensity of that fear on a scale of 0 to 10. 0 being the minimum, 10 being the maximum. And note this value. Do you think it's still at that particular number or has it come down? We will do 2 more rounds of this technique and then we will rate the intensity once again. So let us start. Once again, start tapping at the karate chop point. Even though I have this fear, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this fear, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this fear, I deeply and completely accept myself. Eyebrow, this fear, 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 this fear. Under the nose, this fear, this fear, this fear. Chin, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. Collarbone, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. Under the arm, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. Top of the head, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. We'll do it one more time. Again at the karate chop point. Even though I have this fear, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this fear, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this fear, I deeply and completely accept myself. Eyebrow, this fear, this fear, this fear. Side of the eye, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. Under the eye, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. Under the nose, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. Chin, this fear, this fear, this fear. Collarbone, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. Under the arm, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. Top of the head, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. So that completes 4 rounds of this technique. This is the latest or the shortest version.
Thank you for that, Shabnam.
Yeah, once again, please think of your fear, the tension that fear was causing. Notice where it was first present in your body, at which particular point it was there, and see if the value has come down or not.
Right. And we would request everyone to please feel free to share that on the group. Wherever it was, what SUD it was at, where it's at now. If you do not want to express the fear, it's absolutely fine. But if you could at least share the difference or anything that you noticed or felt. You know, for me, Shabnam, EFT is like, it's like, as I said, it's in my top 5. So even just using the karate chop point is enough to start the tingling going.
Yeah,
you know, yeah. And there's this sense of there is a sense of you know, calm and release and stuff. So yeah, okay. So Shana said fear of failure, but where were you at, Shana, before, and where are you at now? If you want to share that with us. And she also shares that I started to cry the moment I started. So Shabnam, the fact that she started to cry the moment she started is the shift happening, is the release happening, right?
That's right. You may start crying, you may start yawning. So various people show it differently.
Right. And Shana also shares that she was at an 8 and she's now at a 4. And while we wait for the others to come in and share, this is the question that Palak had asked earlier, Shabnam, and I said, hang on, just go to the experience first. So Palak had asked that if someone is not clear about the issue and comes to you, how do you know the issue and how do you find the blockage? And in fact, I would like
EFT is a wonderful.
Yeah, add on a question to this, that how do I know I'm using the right word? You know, so for these two.
So which one do I answer first?
Both. I both. Answers for both, please.
The first one was, if you do not know the issue, how do you get to know about it, right?
Right.
And the second one is, how to phrase the setup statement.
Like, how do I know I'm using the right words, so to speak?
Yeah. So sometimes it so happens that we do not know what our issue is, right? So you start tapping for, even though I don't know what I'm troubled by or what my issue is, I deeply and completely accept myself. Just tap for that, right? And let me tell you, your subconscious mind will throw it out. You will get to know what it is because of, right? For example, even in the case of fear, right? Right now you are feeling this fear. So you just start saying, even though I have this fear, I deeply and completely accept myself. And then you tap for fear at various points. After a few rounds, you may see a particular image, you may see some incident happening, you may get a particular thought. Now, these are parts of that memory, right? And you may get to know that it is not actually fear, but some underlying emotion that is troubling you, right? Which has translated into fear of some sort. So what you need to do is, now instead of tapping for fear, you will tap for that particular emotion to be released. So even if you are not sure about what actually is happening or what actually that issue is, you will get to know. Once you start tapping, it will become absolutely clear. You don't only get clarity about your issues, you also get, EFT can be used to get clarity about what you want to do in life. For example, my daughter, she had enrolled for MBA. We had paid the fee for the whole year, right? And we had also paid the fee for the hostel, right? For one full year. But then she took some EFT sessions from me, and she got clarity that she actually wanted to be a writer. Right. She had done her BA in economics. She had got admission in an MBA institute, a very good one. But then, because of EFT, her goal in life was absolutely clear to her. She wanted to be a writer. Right. So she said no to MBA. She appeared for an interview for Masters in Script Writing, went to the UK. She was selected there and then, went to the UK for this course, became a script writer, and now she's writing for web series and for Bollywood films.
That is fantastic. So that is amazing.
She did not get clarity only about, you don't get clarity only about the issue you don't know about. You even get clarity about your purpose in life. Right. And you also get the strength to pursue it.
Right. So something or the other opens up, right?
Yes.
So you might go in thinking, oh, but I have this concern. But while tapping on it, that concern might just disappear. The actual underlying reason could also come out, which could be completely different. Yeah. So you listen to the messages as well, right? And I'm so sorry, Amira, all chats are on the Telegram group. The link to join is in the Zoom chat as well. Please do come on there and ask your question. And Shabnam, I have to give you the feedback that everybody has sent, which is amazing. So Dipali has written, it was at 6, now at 2, solar plexus was vibrating. Charu says, fear of public speaking, I was at 8, now at 2. Vijaya said she went from 10 to 2 and did it on behalf of her son. Chinmay says, started from an 8 and now at a 4 for me. Inshia wrote, fear of losing everything. I was at a 10, now I'm at a 5. Sajid also was at a 10, came down to a 2. Manisha says, I worked on fear of failure. I was on 9 and my heart was choked, but now it is at 0. Amazing, can't believe it. And Bhav says, I feel very sleepy. So it's natural, right, to feel sleepy when you go through that kind of release?
Yes. You feel sleepy, you yawn, you may start crying, or you may show some other
symptom or something
symptom or emotion, yeah.
Right. So
which means you're releasing it. Yeah.
You're releasing it, correct. So Bhagya asked, so when we say this fear, we always name the fear. Am I correct to understand this?
The more specific you are, the faster it will get eliminated, right? That's why I asked you to say what fear it is.
Right.
And the second question I still haven't answered. How do you phrase it correctly? Right. So, for example, if it is fear of dogs, right? In my case, the dogs ran after me. So I can be very specific about it. Even though I have this fear of dogs running after me, I deeply and completely accept myself. Right. So, somebody may be afraid of water, says the sea or the river, right? So it may not be just the fear of water that is in an ocean or a river. It may be the fear of drowning, right?
Right.
So the more specific you are, even though I have this fear of drowning in a sea, even though I have this fear of drowning in a river, I deeply and completely accept myself. Now, when you do the various rounds, you may get to know, your subconscious mind will throw out what incident had actually taken place, which is connected to this. All this will be taught in the classes that we have.
Right.
How to connect all those incidents that you think about, you get to know, you suddenly get a particular thought, you get a particular feeling, how to connect them to this particular issue that you're feeling right now, and how to eliminate them completely. It's like peeling the layers of an onion, you know. It may be, for example, at the base of anger, there may be some need that you have suppressed, right? So you may be doing it for anger, right? But actually you will find out that it was that particular need which was not fulfilled. That is why you have developed this anger. So you remove that anger, you also remove that need, so that that issue is completely eliminated from your system.
Right.
So in the class, they will get to know how exactly they should frame it, how exactly do they connect the various aspects. Aspects are the different parts of the memory, right? They are the pieces of the memory which are important to eliminate the issue completely. So all this will be dealt with. And that is how you can phrase the setup statement correctly.
Right. And a couple of questions that have come in, and I think actually this is now a great time. And since you mentioned that this will be done in class, and this will be done in class for everybody to get to know exactly what is there for them. For example, somebody's asked, Dipali's asked, can we use this technique for forgiveness for others and for self? And Dipali Mehta has asked, can you please expand on life purpose? Sahana has asked, can we do it on behalf of children below 16? So should we come back to these questions? Would you like to take these questions now, or should we come back after you've explained the course? Because some of these will get answered there as well.
As you say.
Yeah. Okay. So both Dipalis and, in fact, let's just answer these. These are very quick questions. Shana is asking, can we do it on behalf of children below 16?
Of course you can. You can do it for little babies also. You can do it for your pets also, right?
Right.
So actually, my personal feeling is that children in schools should be taught EFT, and they should do it as a daily routine, so that, see, we have grown up with so many negative emotions, so many negative incidents happening every day in life.
Right.
And this is such a simple technique that if children do it right from the beginning, life will become a cakewalk for them. They will be able to eliminate all these negative things completely from the system on a daily basis.
And there's a question in, can we use this technique for forgiveness for others and for self?
Certainly, we can and we should use it for forgiveness. And actually, that is part of my level 1 training. Forgiveness is a very important thing. Forgiveness of others as well as forgiveness for yourself. That is, you should be able to forgive yourself as well as others. And when you forgive anybody else, right, you are doing it not only for the other person, but you are doing it for yourself. And the moment you forgive, life becomes beautiful.
Right.
This is one particular thing which I really want to emphasize on, and which I will definitely discuss in the class.
Right. And in fact, as I bring this up, as we bring up all the information that is there available for all of you to see. Just look at the course details and you will understand how comprehensive this is, and actually does end up answering a lot of your questions. So give us a moment for that to be done. In the meantime, there is somebody who's, there is a repeated question. Sorry, did you want to say something?
Yeah, maybe Jasmine is here because she said she would come.
Okay, we'll get her on after the package, yes? Yeah. Right, okay. Give me a second. While I start this off, a bunch of times these questions come in, Shabnam, that do you have to do it on both sides, or only one side is sufficient?
Only one side is, this is okay.
As in, no, do you have to do,
oh, okay.
Do you have to alternate, do you have to do both the sides, or just keep
no,
doing
you
one
can
side
do on,
is enough?
You can do on any one side.
Right.
In any side.
Right. And here we have it. Okay, learning the emotional freedom technique, EFT, with Dr. Shabnam Johry. And let me please tell all of you very sweetly, Shabnam had said that please address me by my first name. So I must thank you so much for that, for giving me and all of us the freedom to do that. So please, here we have it. We have 2 packages and we have amazing bonuses, including a full money back guarantee after the first class. This has never happened before, ever. So let's deep dive into the package itself. Please take us through it.
Okay, so here we have package A, which consists of the EFT workshop, levels 1 and 2. Now the whole course has been split up into 2 levels, 1 and 2, and both of them are a must, so that you know everything about EFT, right? So you sign for them together, levels 1 and 2. Now for level 1, we have Introduction to EFT, the basic technique, which was given by Gary Craig. And this includes some more points and 9 gamut procedure also, so that fine tuning of the left and the right brain takes place. And like here, some of the participants couldn't bring down the SUD level to 0. If you use this basic technique, it will automatically come to 0, because you will learn about aspects, you will learn about proper phrasing of the setup statement, so that you will be easily able to bring it down to 0. And if it comes down to 0, it means the issue has been eradicated from your system completely, and you may never have to work on it again. Then there'll be demonstration of EFT. The technique will be demonstrated. I will do it for you, and how to get best results. Then why EFT may not be working and how to make it work. So sometimes we see that it is not, the SUD level is not coming down to 0. So why is it not coming down to 0, and how to bring it to 0? Okay. Then benefits of EFT, which are many. And the last one, as I said, forgiveness will be dealt with in level 1. This has a special space in my heart, because forgiveness of self as well as others is really very, very important. Now, this level, that is level 1, consists of 2 sessions, 3 hours each. Then we have level 2, which is again composed of 2 sessions, 3 hours each. This involves advanced techniques for efficient and quicker results. Then 30-second technique to use during time crunch, as I told you, that you can do it in front of people and you can do it in just 30 seconds. For example, just before a flight or before an interview or before a performance. Then the latest technique, which we just did, then distant EFT, because somebody was asking whether we can do it for people who are can I do it for my son who is 16 years old, right? So if that person is not near you, you can use surrogate tapping, right? That is distant EFT, right? And you can help the other person. This comes in especially handy if a person is in the hospital or if a person is in coma. You can do it for your pets. You can do it for babies. And as I said earlier also, that EFT should be taught to even small children. It can be used by anybody at any time. Then demonstration of these techniques, all the techniques. Now, not only the latest technique, but I will also teach the movie technique. Then I will teach slow EFT, which would result in complete overhaul of your energy system. Then simple ways to become a more efficient healer. This is something very, very important. And then you can learn, you would get to learn how to use EFT to heal fears, phobias, stress, anxiety, guilt, anger, emotional and physical pain, PTSD, grief, insomnia, mental blocks towards weight loss, addictions, relationships. Then it can be used for manifestation and much, much, much more. Now, there are a lot of bonuses. So just hold your breath for a minute and get to know what all bonuses are included here.
Right.
In package A, which of course consists of the EFT workshop, levels 1 as well as level 2. The bonuses are early Diwali bonus. There'll be 10 group EFT tapping sessions, 15 minutes each, for money and success. Right? So Diwali is, of course, for celebration, and it is also for money, right? So let us see what these 10 group EFT tapping sessions do for you and how they bring in money for you, money as well as success. It'll be just 15 to 20 minutes each. Then free revision of the entire course. Whenever I have this workshop once again, you can come. You are most welcome to come for the revision of the entire course, and it will be absolutely free for you. Then there will be 1 month WhatsApp support. You can ask me any number of questions on WhatsApp group. And let me tell you, it is not just for 1 month, it is for lifetime. When we create a relationship, it's for the whole life. So anytime you can contact me, and I will be very ready to help you out. Then course material for both levels. Right?
These are two separate, correct? There's one for level 1 and one
Yes.
for level 2. Right.
That's right. You will get the course manuals. For there will be a level 1 manual and level 2 manual. I will just show you the hard copies also. Then you will get it online, and these are printable PDFs. So you can print them, get them bound, and you have it with you to give you energy.
Lovely.
Then there'll be practice sessions, which will be done during the training calls. You will practice right in front of me so that wherever you go wrong, I will correct you so that you will not make any mistake when you're actually doing it on others, as well as yourself. Then there'll be a morning EFT routine for a positive and productive day. And then there will be a night EFT routine for peaceful sleep. Just as you have a daily shower to cleanse your body, you also clean your home and your environment so that you live happily there, right? Similarly, EFT cleanses your energy system completely, and it does not take more than 5 minutes to do it. So if you do it in the morning, you set an intention for a positive and productive day, which you obviously will have. Otherwise also, but because EFT will help you make it happen. Secondly, the night EFT routine for peaceful sleep. After the whole day's work, when you are stressed out, you're tired, you just do it for 5 minutes and you release all the negative emotions, all the negative incidents that have happened throughout the day. All the negativity is gone. You feel relaxed and you have a peaceful sleep. Then the next bonus is 50 limiting beliefs about money and success and how to eliminate them using EFT. So you will get the PDF. I will discuss this in the class, how you can eliminate them using EFT. Then this is something very, very special. Healers, please pay attention to this. All those who perform well in the class, they get a chance to get nominated for promotions by the Mystic Lotus and Dragonflies. This is a big, big opportunity. I got this opportunity and I'm here in front of you. Same way, same way, the Mystic Lotus will promote you, provided you do well in the class. And I'm sure you will.
I gotta say this, these bonuses are out of this world. I mean, come on, you've got a morning routine, you've got an evening routine, you've got something for money and success, you have an opportunity for promotions for yourself, and you've got the manuals, and you've got 10 group EFT. You know what? I'm looking at the bonuses. I'm like, forget the course. I just for these bonuses only, I just take this on. These are absolutely amazing, amazing bonuses. And here's your schedule.
Okay, now coming to the schedule, level one classes will be held on the 18th and 19th of September because each session is of 3 hours duration. The classes will be from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. IST, which means 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. EST. The dates for level 2 are the 25th and the 26th of September. Timings are the same, 6 to 9 IST, 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. EST. And then after that, we will have 10 group EFT tapping sessions for money and success. These are of 15 minutes duration each day. Dates are from 18th to 22nd, which means 5 days, and 25th to 29th, again 5 days in the month of October. And the time is 8 p.m. IST or 10:30 a.m. EST.
And of course, a big reminder for everybody, you have a full money back guarantee immediately after the first class. If you can see, I've got the cursor under this date. Your first class is on the 18th of September. Post this comes into play. Otherwise, and you know what? You're going to be staying with this. There is no way that this is going to happen, but I have to tell you this has never happened before. And thank you so much for this amazing setup. All of this would normally cost 47,000 rupees or $726. And Shabnam, with this, you can get certified, heal yourself and others. You learn additional tapping points for stuckness, game-changing tricks to master the technique, and to learn to identify different parts of the memory causing emotional pain. All of this, 47,000 rupees or $726, right? But because you're on the Mystic Lotus and Dragonflies awesome Healers Training Tele Summit, Shabnam, tell us the super sweet deal you have for everyone.
Now, instead of the usual price, we have a special price for you, which is 88% off for only 24 hours. The special price is rupees 5,500, or you can say USD 85. Here again, it's a full money back guarantee after the first class. If you're not happy with the class, if you're not happy the way it's being taught, if you're not happy just looking at my face, it can be anything.
No way. That's not going to happen.
No questions asked. Your full money will be refunded.
That is absolutely amazing. And people, as we speak, the options are available on the Telegram group. Your payment links are right there. But hang on, there is one more thing that Shabnam has in store for you, which is
Package B consists of all that is included in package A. The EFT workshop levels 1 and 2 are the same. All the bonuses are also the same.
Right.
Plus you get 1 hour of one-on-one session with me, right? 60-minute one-on-one session with me. So that if you have any specific issue, you can get it eliminated, get it resolved by means of this one-on-one session, because I'll be working specifically on that particular issue.
Right. And this would normally cost?
Normally
51,000 rupees or $788. Go ahead, Shabnam.
Yeah, and the special price for you today, which is for 24 hours only, is rupees 7,500 or USD 116.
I'm clapping my hands here. These are absolutely, absolutely amazing offers. I have no words, honestly. 5,500 for level 1 and 2, and 7,500 for all of that, plus the personal session with you, and bonuses like, and that's it. I have no other word beyond the like. So there is people, whether you're a healer or a non-healer, come and enjoy this experience. It's quick, simple, and easy to use by anyone for anything. You have no prior experience that is required. There is no waiting for external situations to change. You gain instant freedom. Your past is released. The troubling situation no longer grips you. You can add a daily energy cleanup routine. It's first aid for you. Administer EFT while waiting for qualified help. Heal your fears, your suicidal tendencies, insomnia, heartbreaks, and more. Support for emotional eating disorders and weight release. Help improve performance in sports and other fields. Distance healing possible by surrogate tapping. And this is just about the tip of the iceberg. There is so much that you can do. No limits. It's completely safe. And oh, here we are. We have, these are the manual covers for level 1 and level 2. Did you design them yourself?
My daughter designed them for me. She's a graphic designer.
They're beautiful. I just love the colors, and I just love the way they're sitting there. And here it is. Oh, okay, so this is what the PDF covers are going to look like for the daily routine. Beautiful.
Yeah, these are the bonuses. Yes, the morning EFT routine for a positive and productive day, night EFT routine for peaceful sleep, and then you have 50 limiting beliefs about money and success and how to eliminate them using EFT.
And here you have it.
Yeah, you get the certificate of completion of the course for level 1 and level 2, 2 certificates. You can take the printouts and get them framed, or you can get them laminated.
And I think you have a copy to share with us also, I think.
Yes, of the manuals as well as the certificates.
I'll just stop the screen share in a quick minute. Please, we would all love to see it. People, here's your reminder, package A of Emotional Freedom Technique Workshop, levels 1 and 2, with all its amazing bonuses at just 5,500 rupees or USD 85. You have a full money back guarantee after the first class on 18th itself. You have package B, which is including package A of level 1, level 2, all the fantastic, amazing bonuses, and of course, a 1-hour personal session with the lady of the hour herself. And this is available for you at only 7,500 or USD $116. So tap away your pain and stress. Start now. I have to bring this up, for everybody to know. I know of somebody who a couple of years back has spent more than 18,000 rupees in just learning it, and more than that in the original DVDs. Okay, from knowing that about somebody to seeing an offer as you don't even have to think of 5,500 to learn a modality and all these bonuses. It is an unbelievable offer, and you've got to take it on for yourself, especially if you're a newcomer, even if you're not. All right. And of course, money back is only after the first class on the 18th. You're there for 19, the money back is over. Keep that in mind also. All right. So, and also if you schedule your personal session before the first class, money back guarantee is not there. Let's keep that also out there in the open for everyone. Please share certificates. As in, please show.
Yeah, first the manuals, maybe.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you can print them.
Nice, beautiful.
Let's have a look at this. Table of contents.
Oh, fantastic.
All the figures that are required are given here. Let's show them to you. Points where tapping can be done. The whole procedure is given.
Right. Fantastic. And of course, the moment with your purchase, you get your confirmation welcome email. You'll actually have your manual with you. You can print it out, keep it ready before the work. There's nothing like a good, nothing like your textbook, so to speak, in front of you, and you can take your notes directly in there. I just love the feeling of that. There's level 2 manual. Okay.
The level 2 manual. Everything is given here. Right?
Nice.
And here are the certificates. You can take the printout. This will be an e-certificate. You can take the printout. You can get it framed like this, or you can get it laminated.
So amazing. I love the fact that you're giving 2 separate certificates, even though level 1 and level 2 was part of the same workshop in package A, you're getting 2 separate certificates. I think that's amazing. Is that really cool? When you match the certificate with the manual covers, amazing, amazing.
Yes, that's what I
Fantastic. I know Jasmine's been waiting for quite some time. I've sent a request to unmute. Hi, Jasmine. Thank you for waiting.
Hi.
We just got so engrossed and taken into the group demonstration that was done for all of us. So thank you so much for waiting. And please go ahead.
I've ditched all other plans for the night, so it's okay.
Thank God. All right. Very relieved to hear that. Please go ahead.
So, hi everyone, and hi Neelu. We've spoken earlier.
Yeah.
So very good evening, and this is Jasmine. I believe we might have people joining from other countries as well. So I reside in India, and I'm here to deliver, a testimonial for Shabnam Johry, who has been my professor back during my undergraduate from 2012 to 2015. Of course, this testimonial is not enough to tell how much he has impacted not just my life, but a lot of other students, right? Back when she was taking EFT sessions at Stephens. So I'll definitely start with thanking her and, just to talk about a few impactful things that have happened post we took the NLP and the EFT sessions. I've picked like 2 instances, 2 turning points from my life that I wanted to talk about. So of course, back in 2016, I was 30 kgs heavier than what I am today. So right now sitting here in front of you, I'm 50 kgs. I was actually 80 kgs back in 2016. That is a year after I graduated from Stephens. And, all sorts of physical interventions, dieting, workouts, nothing was working out for me. I developed polycystic ovaries. I had depression. I was not stepping out of my house, not meeting friends, not posting pictures in social media. So actually, if you go back and see, there's not a single picture from my real brother's wedding because I was just so overweight at that point of time that I was super conscious of myself. But now, I would say I wasn't a regular practitioner for EFT back then. Of course, it was about a couple of years back that I took EFT sessions from Shabnam ma'am. But when I just revisited it, hardly took me a couple of sessions to get back on track, just as, she has demonstrated during this call as well. And what EFT has actually done for me is that it has changed my anchors so easily. Emotional anchors is something I'm talking about. So earlier when I used to be stressed, I would just get into binge eating. I would eat chocolates, candies, fried food, whatever I could find in my approach, to be very honest. Anything in my fridge would be right? So with EFT, it was such a good transition for me to move from such practices to something more healthier, like walking, meditating, stretching myself, etc. And just after a few sessions, I did not even need to go through that entire sequence, right, that Shabnam has demonstrated. It was thinking about it that it would automatically trigger me to stand up and start walking, and then my all my stress and my anxiety would be immediately relieved. I did not feel anymore, and within 1.5 years, I was able to shed off that load of 30 extra kgs, right? And today I'm sitting here in front of you. I even have a personal blog on Instagram that talks about my entire weight loss journey. So, it sounds simple, and trust me, it's simple. I'm not going to say that it's difficult. It's very easy. And here Shabnam has to get credit for making it easy, for making it flexible and accessible for someone like me, right? So what I really learned through my journey is that it's something that you make for yourself. So EFT is not a strict set of rules, right? So you can actually build it for yourself once you learn how it works with your body and your mind. So that's something that I really wanted to talk about, number one. Secondly, it just did not stop at physical kind of influences to my body and brain. But of course, when my father passed back in 2020 September, I was going through PTSD for a couple of months, and I had actually witnessed him in those last moments of his life. So it was affecting not just my mental state, my relationship, friends, my boyfriend, my family, because it kept bringing back those same memories, right? I could just not get out of it. I had to take a break from work for 2 months, and I knew that I need an intervention. It took me some time to get back to NFT. I will be very honest. EFT, sorry, I'll be very honest. I was not very prepared and ready to take it back up. But then it just instantly hit me that I've already done it before, and again, it helped me set up different anchors. So now, whenever I'm nervous, I tend to go back into past with those same memories. I just get up, I take a walk, I listen to a couple of songs, I stretch myself. And now, EFT is completely changed for me. Rather than being that stubborn set of, different set of rules, a couple of steps that you have to follow, it's not the same anymore. It's just like, just close your eyes, breathe in 2-3 times, stand up, start walking, and it's done. So it's been, I think the way you can implement it in your life is extremely flexible. It's easy, and do not restrict yourself to just fears. You can treat any kind of emotion with it, whether it be a positive emotion. Sometimes if we fail to recognize what is it that we're going through, you can't pinpoint what is it. So sometimes I just say that, hey, this is what I'm feeling right now, and it's okay. It's fine. I'm accepting myself with whatever it is. And that helps. So I think the kind of impact she's had on our lives, not just as a professor, she's an excellent teacher, by the way. And as a human being, as a practitioner of healing techniques, I think wherever she'll go, whoever's life she'll touch, she'll make a lot of difference. So kudos to you.
Superb. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing with us all of this. Because trust me, it makes a lot of difference for people to get to know more, because no matter how much we think we might be able to cover in a call, no matter how many questions we take on, it is when people like you and Shubham come on and you share your actual life experiences, that's when the simple sweetheart of a technique's impact actually comes through that much more also. So very thankful to both of you for taking your time out and coming on. Shabnam, if you have anything to say to Jasmine.
Thank you so much, Jasmine, and thank you so much, Shubham. It was a pleasure to have you here, and the way you talked about me, I'm feeling really very, very emotional. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you so much. May God bless you. May God bless you.
Fantastic. This is, I know this is all the time that we have for now, but I'm just going to take 2 minutes and just take care of these 2-3 questions, because in case any questions have been left, which have not been answered even with the package information, please know that Shabnam Johry is going to be here with you not once but twice tomorrow at 11 a.m. and at 6:30 p.m. So come back, ask for more, experience some more. If any of your questions have been left, ask it again. I'm asking the one or two that I think have been left out. Hibiscus Double Yellow has asked, is it feasible for pain in the frozen right shoulder, which is there from a year now, and the pain comes and goes? Will EFT help?
Yes, surely it will.
Superb.
If it is something
yes.
chronic, it may take a number of sessions, but
right.
it is, yes, it can be.
And there is a question of what if the dates are not suitable? Is there a different batch we can join in, recording, etc. available? Yes. Thank you for asking. Correct me, recording, your replays will be available with YouTube links. And take the offer now. If you're not available for the 18th, 19th and the subsequent weekend batch, take the next batch, but take your offer, because trust me, this offer is not coming back for sure. At this kind of, it's not coming back. So
and the replays will be available.
Yes, replays
of all the classes.
Right. Okay. Vanita says total 7.5, including the session. Right. Yes, it is including the session. Oh, there you're right there. Okay. All right. And Sajid answered. Okay. Dipali's also asked, can we teach this professionally to our clients after we learn this technique from you?
You cannot teach them, but you can certainly practice on them. You can help them out. You can work as a practitioner, but not as a teacher of EFT.
Okay, so teacher training is separate, correct? Yeah, it must be a separate level of certification.
Yeah.
Superb. Okay, and one last question for the day before we do sign out. Does EFT help with chakra blocks?
Yes, it does.
Fantastic. Superb. You've all been an amazing audience as always. And you know what? It's that beautiful hour of 818, which is you know, it's an angel number. It's a good sign. People, take the offer. Take the offer. All right, 5,500 rupees only for level 1 and 2. Like, don't even think about it. Shabnam, it's been an absolute joy to have you here. You know, I love EFT. And even before I knew it was you who was going to be on the call, I was like, EFT, yay, we're going to talk about EFT. So I hope you've had a great time here with the audience and with all of us here. And before we leave, do you have any last words for everyone?
Yeah, sure. First of all, it was a great opportunity for me to be here on the call and to be with all of you. I really enjoyed myself. After so many years of experience, I can say that there is one success tip which worked wonderfully well for me. And today I would like to give it to all of you. My friends, remember, the most important person in your life is you yourself. You are unique. You are special. You deserve the best life possible. And now you can take charge of it. The power to rout away your fears, feel positive, and manifest your dreams lies in your own hands.
Right.
Doing the EFT.
Right. Absolutely, absolutely. And on those very lovely words, people, you will meet Shabnam Johry tomorrow at 11 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. IST. You've been a fantastic audience as always. Thank you so much. Shabnam, absolute delight. Wishing everybody a superb weekend ahead. Do not forget to buy your packages, level 1 or level 2. All right. Shall see you around. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.